Hello, everyone. I am your accounts teacher Akanksha. Welcome to our lesson on partnership accounts. Today we will learn about the adjustment for prepaid expenses in partnership accounts. This is part 6 of our series on adjustments, so if you haven't seen the previous lessons, you might want to go back and watch those as well. Please note that the adjustment will be done in a similar manner whether you are doing admission, retirement, death, or change in profit ratio question. You need not understand the adjustments separately for these chapters. Let's first understand the meaning of prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses means expenses which have not yet become due for payment, but are already paid in advance. Let's see few examples on the next slide. Suppose in my firm I pay salary to all employees on the last date of the month. So every month I will pay salary, let's say on April 30th or September 30th or January 31st, etc. Suppose in the month of September, some employees come to me and say that they want urgent money and they want this month's salary in advance. I pay them salary on September 10th itself for the whole month of September. This is called prepaid salary. Similarly for other expenses also. Suppose due date for paying electricity bill every month is 25th. If I pay the bill before that date, it will be called prepaid electricity expenses. Any expenses which we pay in cash or bank and enter in profit and loss account debit side can be paid in advance and will be called as prepaid expense. But we list down few expenses, which usually come in exams in prepaid expenses question on the next slide. The examples of expenses which usually comes in question as prepaid expenses are rent, insurance, salary, electricity, advertisement. Next, we come to how adjustment for prepaid expenses is written in the question. Advertisement expenses of 1,200 rupees are to be carried forward as prepaid expenses. Out of insurance premium debited to profit and loss account, 1,200 rupees be carried forward as prepaid insurance. Salary paid in advance 1,200 rupees. 1,200 rupees rent was paid in advance to the landlord to be carried forward. Next we come to adjustment for prepaid expenses. Prepaid expense is an asset. Debit and credit rules for assets will apply. So increase in prepaid expenses gets debited, and decrease in prepaid expenses gets credited. It is a payment made in advance for which we now have to pass an entry in books of accounts. The assets of the firm will increase due to this entry. Since the book value of asset will increase, so there will be revaluation gain. Next we come to journal entry. Prepaid expenses is an asset which is increasing, so it gets debited. In case of increase in assets we have a profit, so revaluation account gets credited. Another reason for revaluation profit is that earlier by mistake we recorded prepaid expense, which is an asset, as normal expense in profit and loss account. Now we are reversing the incorrect expense, and so revaluation profit will increase. Next we will discuss how this will be shown in revaluation account. Since there is a profit, so it will be shown on credit side of revaluation account. Remember, in examination question replace the word expense by the type of expense like rent, salary, etc. as given in the question. There will be no entry on the debit side of revaluation account. There will be no impact of this adjustment in the partner's capital account. Next we will discuss how this will be shown in balance sheet. In the balance sheet the value of assets will be increased. In our example on the assets side we will write prepaid expenses 1,200 rupees. Remember, in examination question replace the word expense by the type of expense like rent, salary, etc. as given in the question. That's all for this adjustment. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for explanation for more partnership accounts adjustments.